The harsh truth about becoming self-employed at a young age. This video is for people who are not only self-employed at a young age, but also people who are working at a young age towards something, towards becoming self-employed, having their own business, growing their business if you have one now. Being self-employed at a young age, an extremely young age, is extremely difficult to do. Of course, okay? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to find that out. When I first became self-employed, I was 18 years of age, which put me, I believe, when I was doing my research, as an 18-year-old, completely self-employed, not in college, not having any other source of income except my own businesses. I was in the 0.1 to 0.2%. It is extremely unlikely that you are going to become self-employed at a young age, so do not expect to do so. And it also does not mean that it is the correct choice to do. Now, becoming self-employed has done nothing but benefit me. I have been able to work so hard on my business, and I have learned so much about myself because I have had no support behind me with regards to income. Everything is on me. Now, I'm going to touch on this later. But something I want to speak about is when you are young and you are self-employed, you have to work twice as hard. Why? Because not everybody is going to trust you, and it's going to take twice, double the amount of energy to make it work when you are young, because you do not have that credibility. So you're going to have to work twice as hard. Now, a way that we can combat this, hold on. You're also enjoying this video in the back arse of a Tesco car park. Why am I in the back arse of a Tesco car park, Nathan? Why am I looking at a beautiful wooden fence? Because I have extreme hay fever right now and I needed to get out of the house and I have no cold now. So, and I also wanted to make this video for you guys. So that's where I am right now if you're wondering why we're in my car. Back to the video. A way to combat this is by stacking results. You need to stack as many results as possible. You know the way they say for sales that the best objection handling is done before you even have the call. That is what it's like to be young and self-employed. Your age is only ever an issue if you position yourself to where it is an issue. If you are a self-employed entrepreneur, you understand that we live in a value economy. That if you were approached by somebody, or if you approach somebody, you know the mindset of a business owner. You know that business owners only really care if you can save them time, or you can save them money, or you can make them time, or you can make them money. So you understand we live in a value economy. If you position yourself as the answer to where you can save them time, save them money, make them time, make them more money, you will be fine. If you cannot do that, well then your age will be an issue because it will be more difficult for people to trust you. So that is one issue that you will experience as a young self-employed entrepreneur. The second thing is that you will lose friends. Your relationships will be affected. Now you can try as hard as you possibly want to try to keep these relationships, and of course it is extremely important to maintain these relationships and to also look at your family and friends and to understand their value too. But you are in a position to where you live a different life to a lot of people. You are on a different mission than a lot of your peers or your family or your friends. So it's important to be extremely selective with who you decide to be friends with, because these people will live a different life to you. You are working on something that is completely different to them. Doesn't mean what you're doing is better than what they're doing if some of your peers are going into college, or they're working, or they're going into some 9 to 5, or whatever they choose to do with their life. There is no correct right answer. What you are doing could be the correct answer for you. Does not mean that it is the correct answer for them, or what you're doing is better than what they're doing. But when you have time, it is so crucial that you spend it on the business, that you spend as much time and you work extremely hard to working on the businesses. You're going to have friends who go to school. You're going to have friends who go to college. You're going to have friends who have some sort of work, and then the summer comes around and then they're free. They no longer have to go in to the office, or they no longer have to go into their lectures or whatever it is. And you will have to deal with their free time. And there's going to be opportunities to where they're going to ask you to do things. And it's going to be difficult because you're working so extremely hard and you have all of this free time. That's the issue. You have this free time because you don't have somebody behind you to make sure that you're clocking in and you're clocking out, that you're in at 9 o'clock and that you're out at 5 o'clock, that you have nagging at you and tracking you to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You don't have that. So it's so incredibly easy to slack. It's so easy to say yes when your friends are free and they want to do things now that they have their time off. It's important that you don't do that. Now, still enjoy your life. Still do these things. But make sure you're extremely selective with your time and who you spend your time with. And when you do that, you're going to lose a lot of friends because you are working on something that they do not understand or they might not appreciate. If it becomes an issue and somebody is holding you back, well then that person needs to go. That is just my opinion. When I analyze my friends and the people that I have around me, I think, okay, does this person help me get closer to my goals, to achieving my goals and doing the things that I want to do, that I see myself doing in the future? Does this person help me get there or get closer to getting there? Or does this person hold me back? Does this person consistently try to distract me? Now, there's a difference between distraction and sabotage. Now, some people might not see the difference within this. Some people will try to distract you or will distract you. Not that they'll try to distract you, they will distract you because they don't understand the importance of what you are trying to build and what you need to do in order to make this work. And you can't blame them because, again, it's extremely rare to be in this circumstance. People don't really have many businesses at a young age to where you're at the point to where now you are self-employed. So they will distract you and come up with these things, these events to go to, and it's just time away from the business and working on the business. That's fine, and they might not be doing that to try to set you back or to hold you back, right? They're just being friends. Now you have also people who are trying to sabotage you. They understand that you're working on something that they might want to work on, that they might want to have in their life that they don't have. So they consistently try to do things and come up with events to distract you. So therefore you don't achieve your goals because that makes them feel comfortable within themselves. Because they know, well, Nathan or John or Keane or Paul was working on that and he didn't make it work. Thank God. I don't have to be jealous or envy anybody. Didn't work for him. I didn't waste my time. I didn't even bother. If I did do that, well then I would have wasted my time and I would have turned out like him. That's what they want. Now you have to be selective with who you allow into your circle. So you will lose friends. But if you're smart, you will only lose the ones that do not benefit you. The third thing is the shiny object syndrome. This is something that a lot of people will suffer with. You have a lot of options. You have a lot of time. You were exposed to the business industry. You will make connections with people from multiple industries with different skill sets, presenting you with multiple great lucrative opportunities. And that is where the shiny object syndrome will bite you in the ass. It will bite you in the ass. My recommendation, also, if you don't know what the shiny object syndrome is, it's when you are working on something and you're on your path and then you see, as they say in The Matrix, the woman in the red dress. That thing to distract you that looks so good that you get off task, that you get distracted and you look away and you're not on your path anymore. That could be different businesses. Nearly every single entrepreneur, hustler has dealt with this. I've dealt with this many, many times. I was working on a social media marketing agency, and I'd see this guru talking about e-commerce, or someone talking about Forex, with trading, with crypto and stocks and all of these different things, and I'd get distracted. That was the shiny object that put me off. That was the woman in the red dress. You have a lot of time. You will get distracted. Your goal is to stay on track. You have your skill set. If you are self-employed, that means that something worked. Something that you were doing was working and has the potential to continue scaling and to completely change your life. Do not get distracted. Stay on task. If you see something that you think would be interesting to go into, analyze. Think, well, should I do this and this? Well, if I did that thing that's shiny, that shiny object, if I did e-commerce, well, I'm currently working on my agency here, on my community here. If I put 2 hours towards that, maybe I could scale that business. But then also you have to think, well, if you just devoted an extra 2 hours towards what's already fucking working, Nathan, well, then you will become ultra successful and things will work out and you will scale the current business that you've been doing that has been working, and you will scale that a lot more. And this is something that you see a lot with self-employed people, especially young people. They fall for the shiny object. Ultra focus. Stay on task. What you were doing has gotten you to this position. Stay on task. Fuck the woman in the red dress. Not literally. Fuck the shiny object. You see these different business models. Stay en route. You have your thing. It's working for you. Just please don't get distracted. And stay on track. Stay on task. It's working. I'm repeating myself here. I understand. But it's so important. It's so important. And it kills me to see these people. I have conversations with so many entrepreneurs. Oh, Nate, I'm currently working on my agency. Oh yeah, amazing. Yeah, but man, I'm seeing trading. And it looks so good. It's just like being able to go into the charts and just making trades and making money. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Make more money. Focus on route. I'm not saying it's bad to like diversify. That's absolutely fine. But you have to get to a stage to where sometimes you're not able to do that. Or sometimes it's not the best option. And I'm not saying look out for different opportunities. What I'm saying is if you have something that's working for you, a lot of the times is just spending more time on that thing and focusing on that thing will actually make you more money than the shiny object that seems to be absolutely amazing. Another thing I want to talk about is the mental weight. You have no boss. You have no one to tell you what to do. You have to stay focused and you have to be there for yourself. I have a very loving dad. My dad is absolutely amazing. But there's people I know who don't have dads or don't have a great relationship with their dad. And it's kind of a similar situation, okay? You may not have anybody there to be your backbone of strength, right? And this isn't me shitting on women and single moms and stuff. Obviously, single moms is... I'm waffling now. But anyway, it's the same thing when you're self-employed. You have no boss and you have no one to make sure that you're being correct, that you are staying on task, that you're working on the right things, that has somebody to say, no, don't do that. Do this instead. No, don't treat this thing that way. Treat it like this instead. Like a dad would do. If you were younger, obviously moms would do the same. I'm trying not to get myself cancelled here. No, fuck all this stuff. Your dad would say, don't call your mom that. Do this instead. Don't do this instead. Right? When you're self-employed, you don't have that. And if you're fortunate enough to have a mentor or somebody who else has experience and knows the industry and the market and can give you advice, that's absolutely amazing. But a lot of people don't have that backbone. You have to continuously adapt. And if you don't adapt and you're not swimming, you will drown. And the pressure of the ocean will absolutely crush you. Now, how do you continue to swim? Always looking for new ways to improve in your mind. Your business will only grow as far as your mind can see it. Nobody has ever become successful on accident. You don't accidentally scale a business, right? You don't accidentally become self-employed. That's not what happens. You continuously grow. You continuously adapt. You continuously learn new things. You learn off different people. Look for mentors. Look for other people within your industry. Look for other self-employed entrepreneurs. Before I became self-employed, I met my business partner. I found him on social media. We were doing something at the same time in the exact same industry. At the time, it was social media marketing for businesses. And we were doing that, and I messaged him and I said, hey man, we do the exact same thing. I love your content. I think we should have a call, a network. It's good to meet with like-minded people across from Ireland or wherever. If you'd be interested in a call. Hopped on a call, clicked like this, and now we built our private community data sets, which had allowed me to become self-employed and has given me the confidence to make videos like this and to share my experiences and my value and my knowledge like this. And that all stems from networking. You need to adapt and you need to network. The lone wolf dies, and that's simply how it is. You will become extremely lonely when you are self-employed because you're not going into an office. You're not going into college. You're not meeting your colleagues. You don't have any. You're by yourself, and it's you and your coffee and your water and your journal and your laptop. That's all it is. You need to be networking with people. The lone wolf dies. You are not Batman. And that leads me on to data sets. My self-improvement business networking community for people who are ambitious and like-minded, who wants to improve their lives and become something bigger, work on something bigger. You are not going to do this alone. And if you do, you are choosing the harder option. There's no need to do this alone. Look at me. I became completely self-employed again with my business partner, and we did that together. And that was one of the best decisions I have ever done in my entire life. And there are many, many, many people waiting for you who you just haven't put yourself in the position to meet simply because you haven't taken action. You don't have to want to be self-employed. You don't have to want to have a business. Even if you are somebody who just wants to network with ambitious people who want to become the best version of themselves, that is what I created my community for, Datasets VIP. Now, if you want to access that, it's down in the description alongside Datasets VIP. Just click the link and you can enter it and you can access my network. You can access people who have the same mindset as you, who want to become the best version of themselves. Your people. If you clicked onto this video and you're still watching, you are an ambitious person. These people are waiting for you inside the Datasets community. This video I was talking about the harsh truths of becoming a self-employed entrepreneur. A lot of things were, you could say, negative, but becoming self-employed is absolutely amazing and it is one of the best things I've ever done or achieved in my entire lifetime. And I wish everybody who would like to do this achieves that exact goal. If you enjoyed this video, I would please deeply appreciate if you could like and subscribe to the channel and comment. Do you have a business? If so, what business is it? If you don't have a business, what would you like to start? What are you struggling with? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.